Documenting the times, they are a-changin'. Next.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by...
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.
It's easy to think that history is only about the past, but here at the Ohio History Connection, we're reminded that history is happening right now. Our world is constantly changing and evolving. So if you want to see how much things have changed, you might look at the signs of the times. And when I say signs, I mean signs. Let's look at the iconic images created by the Columbus Sign Company and how they've changed over the years.
My grandfather started out as a person that hand lettered and did gold leaf work. Nowadays, everybody understands fonts, and everybody has fonts on their computers. Wasn't that way in the old days. In fact, there were very few fonts or descriptions. It was either serifed or sans serifed.
I work with Mike and Bill's grandpa, Art, and I would go with him, and he carries a little black box, and we would go downtown and hand letter doors. Gold leaf, glass backwards, forward gold, and I've been here 54 years. I love it.
Obviously, it was big banners going somewhere. Banners were a big part. This location was on State Street, close to Front Street. Over the years, we had a big, tall projecting sign there, and then it changed to a smaller one. What we're looking at here is the location at 320 East Main Street. Back in the 30s and the 40s, neon was very prevalent. And at our shop on East Main Street, in the back part of that shop was a big neon shop. And the process of neon and you actually blow into the tube and heat the tube, and it's quite an artistic form. But that neon was just so spectacular and so bright, and for the customer wanting to get his name out and wanting it to show, it was a big competition. This particular sign actually is still downtown on High Street, and it's on the same building. And back in the 60s, they would, like part of the building would get condemned, so like the top 3 floors were torn down, and that sign remains there. This here was a downtown location of one of the drugstores. We have several drugstore photos. This particular one was a furrier. Back then, the minks were a big deal, and this particular customer just wanted to really, have something stand out. I don't think anybody had a grizzly bear made into a coat or anything like that. This one here was Beacon Auto Insurance, and a lot of the signs were projecting signs. Projecting signs came out, as the traffic goes both ways, you can really see it. Reeb's, which was a famous restaurant on the east side, this was the original sign we put up, and then later on we added the shaft part of it, and that was probably back in the mid-40s.
Ohio and Livingston Avenue. At Port Columbus in its early days, when it was very small. They had a place called the Dobbs House. So my grandfather and my dad actually lettered the glass that's in there. It's all gold leaf. We did an awful lot of work for Nationwide Beauty Fashion. They had a bunch of different locations.
Seneca Hotel was right there.
But if we all remember the great storm of 1978, this was the golden jubilee for Ohio Theater. It was its, it was its 50th year. So we made all these logos. Fortunately, Columbus Sign Company did not install them. This was put up maybe weeks before this occurred. Clive David, the manager at the Ohio Theater or whatever, calls Mike up right when this storm's going through, and he goes, "They're flying through the air like missiles. They're going through windows." And we're going, whoa.
This one here is at Broad and High. The original hotel that was there was the Daschler Hilton.
And then there's our uncle, Bob Hoy, my dad's brother, was the inventor of a process called vacuforming, which actually took plastic and took molds and actually created faces from there. And as a result, created a company called Vacuform, did all of Wendy's signs.
Vacuform did Jerry's with the big sweeping arrow. When Ameriflora was here, we did all the signage that you would see at Ameriflora. We did Santa Land at Lazarus. We actually formed what looked like concrete, used a special process to go through there, and so the kids would walk through there like they're going through a tunnel.
We worked on the Ohio Theater. It's one of my favorite places. We did the marquee, took it all apart. It was all rusted, put new steel back in it, and the changeable letters like Judy Garland and all the famous people would come. They lost the fonts. So we actually made the fonts and had them pressed. A lot of people would throw their hands up, "Oh, well, you can't buy that no more. We make it."
When the Southern Theater came back, we were charged with creating a replica of what the old sign looked like. And Mike worked with them on the Drexel Theater and reworked all the facade on that. We've done the Palace, we've done the Lincoln Theaters. Up at the zoo, we've done a number of things. We did Water's Edge. In the Reptile House, we created a skeleton of a snake that you actually walk through when you go through there. And we've had the opportunity, of course, to work with Ohio State University over the years. Mike started working with our dad to actually grid out the end zones. As I look downtown, the Elevator Brewery, which used to be the Clock, and reworking that.
Looked like a Pilsner glass. That started where you see the real trademark signs downtown and the ones that really brought the vibrancy back to downtown.
Political officials and administrations come and go, but government buildings are often designed to represent the permanence and substance we hope our public institutions have. On this Driving with Darby, we visit one of the most majestic buildings in Columbus, the State Center of Government.
Today we're going to go look at the Judicial Center, which is actually in a historic state building built for other departments of state. And I'm excited about it because it's really one of my favorite buildings in Columbus. And the reason for that is it's so rich with art, architecture, symbolism, meaning, but it's probably one of the best kept secrets in the city. So it will be fun to go in and actually take a look at it.
And we do know that the people there, from our working in the building when it was restored, we do know how proud they are of the place. Well, here we are. Let's go see. Oh yeah, this is such a
Here we are in the Grand Concourse.
It's just wonderful.
This space is really one of the grand spaces in the building, but it's more than just a beautiful architectural space with the different marbles, the book match marble. This is almost the Hall of Fame for Ohio. This is 8 Ohio presidents. the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court and 2 speakers of the House.
And it has the portrait of Chief Justice Moyer, who really was the driving force.
He was.
The Supreme Court had space in the Rhodes Office Tower, and it was okay. But Justice Moyer really wanted a special space to sort of elevate the character of the judiciary in Ohio.
Exactly. And the best part of this building is the Supreme Court room.
I think we'd better get a look.
This building was a generic state office building, and yet it had this hearing room in it, which was a hearing room for anybody in state government to use. It is the perfect Supreme Court room. But it was designed to have hearings by the Department of Agriculture or Department of Commerce or any state agency.
It was really just a functional space.
It was a functional space.
For the business of government.
Exactly.
But boy, what a space.
But think about in 1930, you know, the beginning of the Depression, and the artwork, everything is symbolic. The 5 panels in the ceiling represent the first 5 states in the Northwest Territory.
This room celebrates the beginning of Ohio as a state, the Northwest Territory that preceded the statehood of the states in that area.
And the Northwest Territory that had an impact on every single other state that entered the Union afterwards.
It really did.
And all of these murals are important events in the establishment of this territory before it became a state and then as part of the Northwest Territory. So one of the changes in the room when it became part of the Supreme Court was this bench that was built. So still very much in the character of the architecture of the room, because that little dais there, you couldn't fit all the Supreme Court justices. And they did it very much in the style of the building. So it's subtle. If you walked in and didn't know it wasn't there originally, you might think it was designed to be in the building, which is the skill of not just the original design of the building, but the restoration of the building.
Because this was designed for the building. It was not part of the hearing room. It was designed specifically for the court.
Think of how difficult it is to take a 1930 building that wasn't even air conditioned and turn it into a 21st century judicial center. So there are a lot of things that are actually hidden. The lighting was changed. The acoustics were changed. It's wired for every possible use, not just now, but in the future. And in a space like this, you can't hide things easily, so they had to be really well thought out so you don't come into this jarring space that's historic, but it has lots of new stuff added onto it. There couldn't be a better judicial center. With all the money that they spent on this, they couldn't have begun to do this with a new building or something that didn't have this character to begin with.
You work with what you have, you take advantage of what it offers you, and that's your starting point, and you build from there.
Would you like to see more?
Let's see more.
Let's take a look at the library. This was originally the State Library of Ohio. Now it's the Supreme Court Library. So this is like a little ante-room, and what's interesting about this is the artwork on the walls here was commissioned specifically for the Supreme Court, and it tells the story of the history of Western law, the foundations of our legal system.
These are new paintings.
These are new paintings. So we're going to go into the 2-story reading room.
Boy, a beautiful room and great views, too.
It is, and it's still being used for its original purpose. Of course, now they're using computers instead of pulling books off the shelves. But what's interesting, this is the theme of the artwork, again, integrated with the architecture. So what you have here are murals, and they are reflecting the history of the written word, the history of books. How appropriate for a reading room. And then you see the carved wood over the door where you have symbols of wisdom.
Learning and wisdom.
Exactly. But what's really neat, this building was designed along the riverfront, but it was designed as part of the context of the Civic Center. Right. So you see these plazas with the reflecting pool, and the reflecting pools also got new artwork.
And then these plazas extended to Broad Street and also to the south, but it was always intended that there would be space for other state office buildings.
Exactly.
And those were built in the 1960s.
Exactly.
Certainly not in the same style, but intended to at least be
the marble.
compatible.
I mean, they
exterior.
actually provide kind of the bookends for this building, where this building is still the major element.
They're
along
there,
the
but they
Civic
kind of
Center.
accentuate the importance of this building.
Yes. Now look at this space with these beautiful vaults And what's interesting about this, in addition to the light fixtures, is you have these panels that celebrate the four Native American peoples who were in Ohio pre-white settlement and their leaders. And I think it's remarkable in the 1930s that this space really celebrated that part of our history. That was not always the case.
No, it was not.
During that time period. And then the exterior doors actually have some Native American symbols that actually, again, reinforce the theme of this particular space.
So these are reproductions of ceremonial symbols from the various Indian tribes. Isn't that
But again, done
fascinating?
in decorative metals, so it becomes part of the architecture. It's not something that's applied somewhere. It's in the walls, it's in the ceiling, it's the light fixtures, it's the doors.
It's all
It's the
integrated into
idea
the
that it's
design.
all part of the design. Everything has a purpose.
To the credit of the Supreme Court and the judicial branch, they continued that in the renovation and restoration because they commissioned new works
art.
to be installed
Exactly.
both outside on the plazas, on the exterior, and in the library as
And
well.
then they also have a collection of artwork hanging in individual spaces, mostly Ohio artists. So the idea of art and architecture has persisted all these years. This is the Education Center, which is open to the public and is really an important part of the transformation to the judicial center. It's wonderful to have it here. So school groups, any groups can come. They welcome people into this building. This is the room about the building and the idea of the 1908 Columbus Plan.
Oh, right.
Which really had the idea of going from the State House to across the river, and this is about where this building stands. That never happened. But after the 1913 flood and the idea of the Civic Center along the riverfront, look at this building under construction. It was designed to be a focal point.
Well, and the construction wasn't without one serious problem, which was a big explosion.
A big explosion. It was almost complete. And I think about 11 people actually died in the explosion. It completely blew out all of this part of the building. And I think it went up the elevator shafts 5, 6 floors through the building where the doors were blown off the elevators.
They never knew for sure, but they thought it was a gas explosion, accumulated gas.
It could have been, one theory is it might have been some labor dispute. This was the early part of the Depression.
Well, yeah.
There were a number of labor disputes involved with the building. They never actually settled. And then this talks a little bit about the restoration. And again, for people, you walk in and you think, what did they do? And then you look at the kind of condition it was in.
You see the fabric panels going in, putting the chairs back in.
It was looking dusty and old and a little bit sad and tired, and it's anything but that now.
Well, I hope people will realize they are welcome here, that they can come and see a really great piece of architecture, but also a great symbol of what Ohio was achieving at that time.
And I think what the late Chief Justice would say, but it's also a symbol of our democracy.
Yes.
That's what this is for the state of Ohio. It is our Supreme Court.
We're halfway through this episode, so we can't stop now. We got to keep the ball rolling. Now, did you know that that phrase really has something to do with an actual ball? And did you know there's a Columbus connection? Here's the story.
This is the kind of campaign that shaped up to change the way Americans did political campaigning. Up until this time, campaigns were relatively sedate, they were kind of laid back. The candidates themselves made very few appearances, and a lot of the way campaigns were run was simply through local newspapers or through local grassroots organizations. Now things were changing. Routes of transportation were developing that would permit people to move easily from state to state, town to town, and the 1840 campaign saw a large number of political rallies, torchlight parades, and in fact parades from city to city, in many cases with small, that is 8-foot by 10-foot log cabins being carried on wagons to illustrate the importance of the Harrison presidency. In one case, a gigantic wooden framed ball covered with canvas and political sayings was pushed by a large number of people all the way along the road through most of Indiana and into Ohio. came to Columbus. It was in the middle of a driving rainstorm, which of course there wasn't much of a torchlight parade to accompany it. But in any case, Harrison swept to victory in the campaign of 1840. He then set forth, at a relatively advanced age, to give the longest inaugural address in American history, before or since 2.5 hours, in a driving rainstorm. Over the course of the next 30 days, he contracted pneumonia and died, thereby making John Tyler the President of the United States. Harrison holds the distinction of being the first and shortest lived of the Whig presidents.
As we mentioned, history is happening all around us right now. The staff at Ohio History Connection is constantly collecting artifacts that help us tell the state's story. Let's see some of these items and learn what happens when history meets headlines.
Eric,
Hey,
how are
Brett.
you? How are you doing?
Good. I see there's a wedding today.
Not quite. This is actually just a piece from our collection here, so.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that looks pretty new.
Yeah, it is. So this was a sandwich board sign that was set up at Dorian Commons Park right here in Columbus in June of 2015.
So that's probably tied into the legalization of marriage.
Yeah, so the sign was actually set up on June 26, 2015, which was the day that the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the ban on marriage equality in the United States.
Right. And it's in front of this fantastic display of these very ostentatious costumes. What's the connection?
So the sign and the materials that you're referencing behind us here are all part of the Gay Ohio History Initiative, or GOHI Collection. It's a collecting initiative that we started with community partners a number of years ago, and it helps us collect, preserve, and share Ohio's LGBTQ history.
When did that start?
So we actually started that right around 2006, although we have been collecting materials from the gay, lesbian, and other communities probably since the early 80s.
Now, these costumes belong to an individual who goes back way before the date you've been talking about.
That's correct. So these are from a man named David Zimmer, and David really became known for performing in drag around Columbus and elsewhere in the country, but perhaps one of his biggest contributions to the local LGBTQ community came in 1964 when he and others founded an event that would become known as the Berwick Ball.
This was pageants and drag and that sort of thing, which was against the law, right?
So at the time, the Berwick Ball served as essentially an underground Halloween costume drag ball, essentially a safe space for the local community to gather when, as you mentioned, a lot of times bars and other venues with a known gay clientele were often raided under the auspices of health violations and other ideas like that.
And it was underground. It had to be held underground, is that right?
That's correct. To actually find out the venue of the first ball, folks had to call a telephone number the day of the event, and then they would learn where it was being held. Eventually, the Berwick Party and Restaurant House in Berwick, southeast of Columbus, became the kind of unofficial venue for the event, which is why it's now known as the Berwick Ball.
Who actually made these costumes?
So a lot of the costumes you see here were made by a man named Dick Frank, who was a friend of David's and also a local costume designer in Columbus.
So the sign we see is present day, and the things they're talking about with the Berwick Ball go back to the mid-1960s. It shows that things change, these issues change, the way society deals with them changes, and part of what you do at Ohio History Connection is document those changes through the ages.
Definitely, and our collections help us do that. They provide essentially the evidence of history, so we can document the way that different communities were viewed over time, and that's one of the real advantages of having a three-dimensional collection like we do.
Well, it's fascinating that this new work you're doing, documenting this community, and thanks for sharing it with us.
Thanks for your interest.
If you've missed any of our shows, log on to columbusneighborhoods.org. Plus, see our stories on the WOSU mobile app. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
It's okay to fight if you know that you are in wrong. It's okay to lift your head when you've only just begun. I have tried to separate the fire from the sun, but in the end you can't forget that the dealer is already won. So I will never be the one. No, I will never be the one to roll over.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by
At American Electric Power, we've been proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media for many years and strong supporters of our headquarters city here in Columbus, both downtown and in neighborhoods like yours.
State Auto Insurance Companies, transforming to become a digital provider of auto, home, and business insurance. And for nearly 100 years, committed to the people and neighborhoods of Central Ohio. State Auto. The Columbus Foundation. Smart philanthropy for a smart city. ColumbusFoundation.org. Bailey Cavalieri. Your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. CODA. Keeps our community moving forward. Falgren Moortime Marketing and Communications. Think wider. Ohio Health focuses on you and your family with a mission to improve the health of our communities. Women in Philanthropy at Ohio State, changing lives by giving together. And by contributions from these and other Columbus area families who support WOSU. Thank you.